We just received a massive A.J. Brown trade update as a recent report made by an NFL insider just delivered some insight that has helped make fans understand what is going on behind the scenes and what is to come if things don't clean up soon. We'll deliver all of this on another edition of Eagles Digest. What's going on, guys? Alex Brooks back here on Eagles Digest to deliver everything surrounding the Birds. And before we get into everything surrounding A.J. Brown and all of that great stuff, if you guys are not a part of the subscribers on this channel, if you are a part of the 94.8% who aren't subscribed to this channel, you guys better hit that subscribe button, comment down below. We want to know your thoughts on everything surrounding the Eagles, especially after their first regular season loss in about a while. So I just want to see what your guys' comments are. What are your thoughts on everything? So you guys better hit that subscribe button and comment down below. Want to know everything that you guys are thinking about. But getting right into this video, as A.J. Brown, the trade rumors and everything surrounding A.J. Brown is at its peak right now. I mean, we know that going into the Broncos game, there was just a lot of buzz around there was certain trade proposals that the Eagles could make at the deadline. People were writing articles, things were blowing up on social media, and A.J. Brown was just at the forefront of every person's topic, and it wasn't good. It was more like, other teams were making calls. Everything was going crazy. And honestly, Howie Roseman's phone was probably blowing up more than ever before. So I feel like when you're looking at just all of these trade rumors, Mike Garafolo and Ian Rappaport had just delivered some insight on everything surrounding A.J. Brown and everything that transpired throughout the week. And they were saying that's why when teams called in the offseason to inquire about trading for Brown, they were told no chance. It's also why any potential trade with the November 4th deadline approaching is considered extremely unlikely, sources told Ian Rappaport and Mike Garafolo. And honestly, this was expected. Do not think that A.J. Brown, with everything that he has done for Philadelphia over his 4 years with the team, helped deliver the Eagles a Super Bowl championship. We are in the golden era of the Philadelphia Eagles right now. So trading away your number one superstar, understand that he's struggling, understand that there's things that are not clicking with the offense right now, but just trading away a guy you just signed to an extension would be flat out stupid and flat out moronic. And I feel like with everything that is bubbling over with A.J. Brown, and he does say stuff that is just out of pocket sometimes, but you're going to have to deal with that. I understand that there's a lot of different things that go on in A.J. Brown's mind, DeVonta Smith's mind, but you got to understand that this is a process. This is something that just happens to Super Bowl teams. It happens in Philadelphia. No noise is louder than when the Eagles are not doing well and they're not clicking, even if they're going undefeated. It's just things that do happen, and it's the unfortunate thing that A.J. Brown, he's linked to guys like Terrell Owens in terms of talent, but also in terms of being a diva. So the Eagles have already been down this road before, so it's just something that has just happened, but we know that the noise is just noise, and there is no fire to any of the smoke. But just looking at his stats so far this season, you're looking at through September 4th all the way to October 5th, week 1 through 5. I mean, outside of the Rams game where most of that was from the second half, I mean, this has just been, unbelievable in the sense of just being just downright whatever, downright bad. When you're looking at these stats here, I mean, when you're looking at September 28th at the Buccaneers, 2 receptions for 7 yards. Against the Cowboys, 1 reception for 8 yards, 5 receptions for 27 yards, 5 receptions for 43 yards. I mean, this does not look like A.J. Brown. This looks like maybe the fourth wide receiver on a loaded offense. This should be something like a Jahan Dotson or a John Mechie type of numbers, where you have some big game in the 109, and most of the games are just if you catch a couple balls and everything like that. This is the number one wide receiver. This is your $100 million wide receiver one who is really good friends with Jalen Hurts and has already established himself as a top receiver. So you got to understand the frustration right now. You have to understand where A.J. Brown is coming from and what he has been able to provide for the Eagles over his tenure, but also know that if you don't get him the ball, he is not going to be trying as much in the game. And I mean, just looking at what he was saying regarding all these trade things and how he felt about Philadelphia kind of gives fans a little bit more of a reprieve, saying, absolutely, said Brown, whose sources say would garner a Micah Parsons like package in a trade. This is my home. You know, I did it to myself, but this is my home, man. I love it here, but you just see the frustration because obviously we want to be great. And most definitely, I want to be great as well. And we all know that A.J. Brown and a lot of these wide receivers, like DeVonta Smith, like A.J. Brown, like CeeDee Lamb, like Terry McLaurin, like all of these other wide receivers that are very prominent right now, they want the ball. They want to be able to know that they have the impact on the game, whether it be with, all of their numbers or just having that game-winning touchdown catches. And that has not been the case since the Rams game where A.J. Brown looked like he was just flying on all cylinders. But you have to make sure you consistently get it to number 11's hands because he knows how to change the game. We've seen it against the Rams. We've seen it all throughout his career in Philadelphia. We know that he can be a top 3 wide receiver in this league. He's shown it over this past 3 or 4 years. But you know that right now, the offense, just looking at what Kevin Patullo has done so far in his tenure, has been dreadful. I mean, not being able to consistently get scoring drives together, get the ball down the field. I mean, that goes back to coaching. And it's not because of the players. I mean, you have Jalen Hurts, you have A.J. Brown, you have DeVonta Smith, Dallas Goedert. We've said it over and over again. We have the players in place. You got to make sure that you can scheme them open. We've seen when they have had great success. 2024, where the passing game was, it was subject, or suspect, but they were able to get him the ball, especially in the playoffs. But now, just coming off the Super Bowl, you're thinking that that was one of the concerns going in here. Would the coordinator be able to replicate some of the success from last year? And so far, it has been just the number one question mark for every single game we go into. We have the Giants on Thursday. So I've said it before on this podcast. Open up the playbook for A.J. Brown and DeVonta Smith against the Giants, especially in a Thursday night game where a lot of the eyes are going to be on you. And I definitely think this might go into what Nick Sirianni is going to have to do because Kevin Patullo, if he keeps calling these inconsistent games, as much as Nick Sirianni struggled in that 2021 season, and he's not usually a play caller as a coach, he might have to take the reins from Kevin Patullo to try to get some sort of spark in this offense. Obviously, that's worst case scenario because you want to trust an offensive coordinator and you don't want to give someone who hasn't called plays in Nick Sirianni in a while to go back in there and focused on so much stuff, including calling plays. So with A.J. Brown and everything that's going on, he is not going anywhere. The Eagles are going to try to improve at this deadline. They're going to try to bring some guys in. Definitely think that they need to get in the offensive line department. Never thought I would be able to say that, but with Landon Dickerson not doing well and him going on injury, Lane Johnson getting a little bit older and getting a little banged up, and we've seen just the blocking so far this year. It has been dreadful for Saquon Barkley to get any numbers. You're going to have to look there. You're going to have to definitely look on defense with the edge rushers because when you're looking at Zadarius Smith having the team lead in sacks, I mean, that's someone who just came on the team after week 1. So he hasn't even been able to get the full playbook yet. So you're going to have to get edge rushers. You're going to have to get offensive linemen. You're just going to have to give some sort of spark to both sides of the ball so everything can come into place. I'm confident that they'll be able to bounce back against the Giants this Thursday, and I hope that, Patullo, he opens the playbook and he can show why this Eagles team is so talented on paper. You got to translate paper into production. But that's going to do it for another edition of Eagles Digest. Let me know your thoughts on this A.J. Brown drama, and what do you guys think regarding the Eagles moving forward into Week 6 against the Giants? Short turnaround time, and we'll get ready for it all here on Eagles Digest. So hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Go Birds and fly, Eagles, fly.